Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm so excited to share with you my top 10 winter fragrances. So these are the most dramatic, phenomenal fragrances. Like seriously, I love my picks. I hope you'll love my picks too. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And I just want to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed and are part of this family. You guys are amazing, and I'm so thankful for you. And let's get into this. Now, before I get started, I want to share with you my latest bag from Teddy Blake. Now, this was sent to me. I am in love with Teddy Blake bags. I love luxury products, but I hate paying a huge price for them. Like I just don't want to do it. But I really enjoy high quality products that I can have forever that look amazing, but don't break the bank. So I want to share with you, first of all, this is the bag that I got almost a year ago now, and they sent me this different strap to go with it, which I kind of like because it matches kind of the gold hardware, just gives it a bit of a different look. For the most part, I carry this bag like this by the handles, but every once in a while I like to use the strap, and I have literally used this bag for a year. So this has been the primary bag that I use. The only wear that I see is on this Teddy Blake sign. The gold has worn off just slightly. Other than that, it looks absolutely pristine. I take really good care of my bags, but this is just phenomenal. I stick my big water bag, or my big water bottle in there. I have this felt kind of insert in here. It has the red suede. Like seriously, I absolutely love this purse. The only issue that I have with it is sometimes it's too heavy for just going shopping or whatever. So I wanted a lighter, smaller bag, but this, like I love this Bella style. I was tempted to get the Bella in a 9-inch, but I wasn't quite sure what it would look like. But this is like, seriously, used it every day. It's my work bag. I use it literally every day, and it's amazing. It can hold a ton. So this is the 12-inch. And I'll leave my other video linked below where I talk about it. But I wanted to go with a smaller bag, so I went with this one, and I'm in love with it. So this is the AVA 9-inch, and so it's really quite tiny. I've got some inserts where you get to see how much can fit into it. The quality of this bag is amazing. I love the fact that they really take care on their edging, so it doesn't fray or look dirty. It stays really clean. I love the gold embellishments, all the fancy little detailing like the Teddy Blake on the handle holders. This one has a pocket in the back. It's easy to open, so I'll probably take this cloche off, but it's easy to open. And even though it's only 9 inches, it has a ton of room. Oh, see, I've got some perfumes in there. Oh, these are amazing perfumes too. But anyway, yeah, it's lots of room for your phone, for a wallet, and then tons of odds and ends. I like the fact that this is the softer, supple leather. What I love about these bags is that they're extremely high quality. You're paying more than what you would pay for a cheap vinyl bag, but this is premium leather. It's made in Italy by actual craftsmen that take their time and really put their care and everything into it. All the stitching is pristine and perfect. So the attention to detail in this is just amazing. Feels really luxe. This is a little bit of a different leather than this one that is smooth. This one has the grain. This is in the light beige color, and it is called Stampetto leather. It's a soft pebbled calfskin leather, but as far as the way that this is made, I know I'm going to have it for a lifetime. And what I love about this is that it's small enough that I can almost hold it as a clutch, but it also comes with a strap. So at the end of this video, I'll show you kind of how I styled it, what outfit I wore, and you get to see how it fits on the body. And then I also have a larger strap that I asked for as well. This one just makes it a little bit more comfortable around the body. The only thing about it, again, is that it's slightly different shade. So keep that in mind. I actually think it looks cool having the different shades on there. It doesn't actually bother me, but that's something to keep in mind. Personally, I think I'd use the thinner strap just because it is a small bag. So you could wear it open, but the strap, you know, like you'd be hanging it like this. The other thing I like is that my wrist actually fits in this bag, which I was worried about, being I am plus size, but you can wear it open. You could wear the bag with that inside like that, if that's more convenient. And it's amazing how much this bag actually fits. So I'm really, really happy with it. Now, I will also likely take off the cloche and the key. Technically, the key doesn't have a lock because there's nothing to lock it to, so it's really just for show. So it adds a nice element, but personally, I like the clean look on my bag, so I would be taking that off. But I absolutely love this bag. You're gonna get a quality piece that's going to last a lifetime, and instead of paying like $2,000 or more for a bag of this quality, you're paying under $500. So it's still pricey, it's still an investment, but again, you're getting a high quality piece that's gonna last you forever. So I love this bag. I think it's so classy. It's the perfect size for shopping. It's perfect size for dress. So don't discount the 9-inch just because it seems really small, because it's a great size. This 12-inch one is great, like, so that, you know, you get to see the difference in size. This 12-inch is phenomenal as a work bag. They have it in a 15-inch too. I personally would love the 15-inch. I'd love the 9-inch. To me, the Bella bag is my absolute favorite just because I love the openness of it, the ease of it. But I did want to get a bag that was classy looking, a little bit more detailed, a little bit more structured, just for a little bit more of a dressy look. Yay! So anyway, I love these bags. If you've purchased a Teddy Blake bag, please weigh in and say what your thoughts are. I'm moving on to the fragrance, and I will show you how I style it at the end of the video. So I'm going to start with an oldie but a goodie. This is such an amazing fragrance. I've got kind of a mix. I've got some Middle Eastern in there. I've got some affordable, some designer, some niche. But an oldie but a goodie. This is so great for winter. In fact, it's one of my favorite fragrances to wear in the winter, and it is Haute Couture Eau de Parfum by Givenchy. What's so special about this is the raspberry in here is mouth-wateringly delectable. It's a little bit syrupy. There's some pepper and vetiver in there, so it gives it almost a Gris Charnel vibe with a syrupy raspberry, if that makes sense. So you get that sandalwood, there's vetiver, there's pepper, a little bit of muskiness, but then with this delicious raspberry that is so sensual and seductive. This fragrance, whenever my sister wears it, I always compliment her. It is a compliment getter for sure. It won't break the bank. And the longevity is amazing on this. So it's a little bit more old school, I guess, but to me it smells like a niche fragrance nowadays. So this is a designer fragrance that smells a little bit nichey. Yeah, to me, if I were to describe it, I would say like a Gris Charnel, so almost like a tea-like vibe with that pepper and that vetiver in there with that little bit of sandalwood, but then with the syrupy raspberry. It also has at times a little bit of a cigarette vibe. And I always say that this is my Cruella de Vil fragrance. Like, this even kind of looks like a big cigarette. It's like, where are the puppies, darling? Like, I think of that every time. I'm not sure why. The fragrance smells amazing, but it does give me Cruella de Vil vibes. And I'm actually for it. Next fragrance is a new one to my collection, and I am so in love with this one, and it is Silver Saffron by Unui Nomad. Love the packaging on this. I just think it's gorgeous. The fragrance is absolutely sexy. So you have Iris as kind of the star of the show, but there's also some saffron and raspberry in here. There's a bit of myrrh and a bit of papyrus. Iris is definitely the standout star, but it's supported on either side with saffron and raspberry. And then you get a little bit of that balsamic kind of edge in the dry down. This is absolutely beautiful. It actually has a little bit of that cigarette vibe too, and I just love that in the winter. This is sexy, it's sensual. This is absolutely unisex. Honestly, haute couture, guys, haute couture, you could definitely wear it. You should try it. Just go to the store and try it. You may really love it, but this is for sure, you're getting that raspberry violet combination. It reminds me a little bit of Oud Satin Mood, but not quite because of that raspberry. But it's got that same sort of feel, so a little bit almost smoky feeling. It almost feels as if there could be rose in here, but yeah, it's so beautiful. This is very luxe smelling. It smells timeless, effortless, sensual, mysterious. I am in love with this. I want to talk about a great layering combination, and that is Tobacco Maniac by Theodoros Kalatinas. This is a sweeter tobacco fragrance. It's got tobacco, honey, patchouli, and vanilla. To me, it smells like a honeyed pipe tobacco. That's what I get, and I just think it's delicious. It smells very humid or moist. I know everyone hates that word, but it smells like brand new pipe tobacco. Really, really like quite a sweet honeyed tobacco. That's what it smells like. It smells like tobacco and honey. So I really enjoy this. I can see a lot of women finding this too masculine. I don't mind it on my skin, but I wanted to make it a little less masculine because it is like it's unisex leaning masculine. So this to me is a great tobacco fragrance. If you want just a delicious honey tobacco, this is fantastic. I wanted to soften it a bit, so I added Ophidian Sweet Surrender. And the reason why I wanted to add this one was because it has cacao and it has vanilla. So I just thought that the soft kind of powdery feel would kind of meld with this one really well. And it worked excellent. Although I think that you could pair any vanilla with this to make a beautiful kind of tobacco vanilla fragrance. This has some sugar. There's a little bit of berry or orange on the top, and then you get this beautiful kind of vanilla cacao with a little bit of spices in there. There's some tonka in here as well, but it's primarily quite vanillic, slightly powdery, very cozy. So this pairing was amazing. Let me know if you've got these, try it out and tell me what you think. Next is a designer fragrance. I love pulling this out in the winter, and it is La Nuit Tresor by Lancome. To me, it just smells like berries and chocolate. There's praline in here. It's definitely gourmand. In fact, I think it was kind of one of the first gourmands that came on the scene. So I love it. There's rose in here. You definitely get the rose, but I get this syrupy blackberry jam feel with chocolate and praline. So I just think it's absolutely decadent. This one's addictive and sensual. And even though I would technically consider like this fragrance, like look at the bottle. What I think of when I think of this fragrance is I think of a lace bustier with kind of a satiny, all black, but a satiny kind of a robe, and it's kind of half open and you've got your bustier showing. That's what this fragrance kind of gives me the vibe of. So it's super sexy. This is a bedroom fragrance in a lot of ways, but that said, I think you could wear this anytime, but that's the vibe I get. It's really sensual, addictive, intoxicating, edible. Love, love, love this. And the fruit just comes out so beautifully in the winter. So sometimes in colder climates, fragrances like this really blossom. And that's the case with this one. In the heat, it can get a little sickly. In the cold weather, this just gets really enveloping. And I love it. Now, this next one is kind of an oldie to my collection. I got this, I think, 4 or 5 years ago now, and it is Replica by the Fireplace. For the longest time, I wasn't quite crazy about this. I loved it, and to me, it smells like there's a fire going. You can smell the burning wood, which is the Gaiac wood in it, but then as well, you get this delicious kind of marshmallowy vanilla with a little bit of warmth from a nuttiness, which I think is chestnut. It's definitely very vanillic, but also very woody, and the wood smells a little bit burnt. So it gave me the vibe of sitting around the fire. You've got sticks with marshmallows and you're roasting them, and then you stick the marshmallow in your mouth, but it's got that little bit of burnt on it. That's the vibe that this fragrance gave me. So I really loved the vibe, but I just did not really enjoy the woodiness as this dried down. Now, my tastes have kind of changed over the past 3 years, and I pulled this out the other day and I just was in love with this. Like I fell in love with it all over again. I love the woodiness. I love the vanilla mixed with it. I love that they kind of temper each other. So I am so excited about this. And that's the fun thing about shopping your collection. There'll be fragrances where you're like, oh, not really crazy about it. You put it away for a while, and then all of a sudden you pull it back out and you're like, oh my goodness, I love this. So that is how I feel about By the Fireplace. I wore it 2 days in a row. I was so in love with it. And that rarely happens these days because I'm always testing fragrances. But I put it on in the evening of one day and I'm like, I got to wear it for the whole day the next day. So I am in love with this one. Can't wait to wear it again. Next is a newer fragrance to my collection, and it is called Poka by Pernoire. Pernoire was founded 4 years ago. So it was founded in 2020. So they're relatively new on the scene, but I just love this. So I have Otamo, which honestly to me smells similar to this. So I'm not quite sure why, because the notes are very different. But this one is just a beautiful, again, kind of dark, sensual, mysterious fragrance that works perfect in the winter. I'm going to read you the notes because the notes are very, very intriguing. There's popcorn, apple pie, and cinnamon in the opening. In the heart, you have hazelnuts, dried apricots, and labdanum. And the base is vanilla, cedarwood, tonka bean, and musk. Now, this fragrance to me smells different every time I wear it. I get a lot of the labdanum, which comes across almost leathery, and I also get the apricot. So I get the labdanum, I get apricot, I get cinnamon just kind of on the periphery. I don't notice any of the popcorn or the apple pie, which I was kind of disappointed in. I get the hazelnut, I get the vanilla and the cedar. So it's a really complex fragrance. The notes look way more gourmand than I feel like this is because of that labdanum. But that said, this is such a sexy, delectable fragrance. This would be so amazing on a guy, especially like seriously, this is intoxicating for a man. So if you put this on, like seriously, I would want to sniff you nonstop. It smells so good. So really enjoy it. I enjoy wearing it, but to me, it's bordering on masculine because of the leatheriness. Now, I am kind of curious to see how this kind of grows and develops the more I smell it, but it's definitely a more complex fragrance that's not your typical gourmand. So it doesn't smell fully foody. It's way less sweet than I was anticipating with that apple pie and cinnamon, but I find the dried apricot really mouthwatering with that leather. It's just intriguing. So really, really enjoy it. It kind of fits in the same category as something like a silver saffron. So it's mysterious. It's got its own little intrigue. It's complex. And although it's kind of gourmand, there's enough woodiness and leatheriness in this. It's like edible leather. That's kind of the vibe. So a little bit naughty. So good. Like I really enjoy this, but you have to like that labdanum leathery vibe in there, mixed with the dried fruits, mixed with that hazelnut. The hazelnut doesn't come across chocolatey at all. It's just a little bit nutty, mixed with the tonka bean, the vanilla, the cedar in the base. Really beautiful. I wish I got more of the popcorn and the apple pie, but we'll see, because as things shift or change, or even as I have this for a while, sometimes fragrances develop. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really impressed with this. I love this one. I love Otamo as well by Pernoire. Speaking of leather, I have to talk about Cherry Punk. This is such a delectable cherry fragrance. It's absolutely sexy and perfect for winter. This has cherry Szechuan pepper and saffron in the opening. You get lots of that cherry. It's a little bit brighter than something like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It's not as boozy, but it's still got like some decent depth to it. This also has violet, mimosa, and jasmine. And then the base is leather, tonka bean, and patchouli. I get the leather, I get the cherry, I get the patchouli. I don't really get the florals, so the violet and whatnot, don't really notice it. It's just a gorgeous mouth-watering cherry fragrance that I thoroughly enjoy wearing. You have to like leather again because it does have that leather note in it, but this is perfectly unisex and it's so beautiful in the winter because that cherry just cuts through it. It's so cozy and delicious and sexy. Okay, I have 3 more fragrances. I'm going to talk about the most expensive fragrance that I have in my collection, and it is Prodigy by Mind Games. I talked about this fragrance recently. It is pricey, but the presentation of the whole package it's absolutely stunning. But the fragrance inside is so beautiful. Now, I am a major rose fan. As far as a very modern, current rose, this is amazing. And it would be in the same sort of category, like it doesn't smell like this at all, but is opulent and amazing as something like Delina Exclusive. This would be in that category, but I think it's even more amazing, honestly. So in the opening, you have rose, cardamom, and bergamot. For me, I don't get a lot of cardamom, and that's amazing because I normally pick cardamom up. So I get mainly this beautiful kind of deep rose. I get this beautiful rose that's like really fresh and young feeling. And then as this starts to dry down on your skin, this has a creamy latte accord. So you get a slight bit of milkiness. There's a hint of a bitterness in there. There's some patchouli, and on the cap, the patchouli comes across majorly. On the skin, the patchouli just kind of adds the feeling of some spice and just kind of holds the rose. So it's like this beautiful rose is sitting on a bed of patchouli and milkiness. And then as this dries down, you get blonde woods, some sandalwood, and some vanilla. So I just find this to be such a fascinating fragrance because you're getting this beautiful rose kind of sitting on a bed of patchouli. There's definitely a little hint of kind of a latte slash coffee vibe, but it's not sweet at all. So everything just kind of sits. It's not too sweet. It's not too sickly. It's not cloying. The patchouli is just underneath everything, supporting this. You get that woodiness in the dry down, and this lasts forever. So this is a super beautiful fragrance that's understated, that works well in any sort of a classy type situation. This, I think, is going to be my Christmas Eve fragrance. We'll see. I love it. I just think it's so beautiful. It's a kind of opulent, stately, classy. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the packaging. So gorgeous. Now, I wanted to choose a gourmand chocolatey fragrance, and so I went with Chocolate Queen. For a winter fragrance, I think that this is absolutely beautiful. If you want to smell like this, somehow to me smells really kind of sexy, but not like you're trying. And it's edible, but not too edible. So it's not like an in-your-face gourmand, even though everything about it is gourmand. I don't even understand. I don't understand what magic is in this to make it smell so delicious. And it has a chocolatey vibe, but it's not just straight up bam chocolate. It's just interesting to me. So it has chocolate, dulce de leche, and hazelnut in the top. In the heart, it has Bailey's Irish Cream, chocolate fudge, caramel, and bitter almond. And then the base is vanilla, praline, amberwood, and sandalwood. So tons of edible notes in here. No floral, but somehow it feels like there'd be orange blossom in this. I'm not sure why, but I get an orange blossom vibe. I find that the sweetness is just lacy, so it doesn't feel thick. I don't know how it's possible, but it's the most gourmandy fragrance I have, and yet it doesn't smell like a straight up chocolate bar. So I absolutely love this. It's interesting. It's going to cut through the cold, but you're not going to smell like a a caramel candy or a piece of chocolate fudge, you're gonna smell intriguing. Woo! Love this one. Let's face it, I love them all. The last one I have, it also has the Prodigy name. It's called Prodigy Noir by Paris Corner. And this one was love at first sniff for me. Oh, the first thing that I get is a bit of cardamom. It doesn't smell leathery to me. It smells like straight up cardamom. Cardamom isn't listed in here, but there are warm spices listed. So I get cardamom. There's apricot in here. There's rose, caramel, chocolate, tonka bean. I get this chocolatey vibe. I definitely get the rose. There's vanilla, cashmeran, musk, amber, and cedarwood. What I get is some woodiness, maybe a little bit of that cedar. I get the vanilla. It kind of almost has a Coca-Cola vibe, just an ever so slight cardamom-y Coca-Cola drink somehow with a little bit of vanilla in there. I love this. I think it smells amazing. It smells sensual. It smells mysterious. Why do I always do this? Like I'm looking at myself, like why? Why do I do that? It's so weird. Anyway, weird and wonderful. So this fragrance, I just think it smells amazing. It smells slightly edible, it's sensual, it's mysterious. It's so perfect for colder weather. It's gonna smell really enveloping, and this is like $40 US, like 37 US. So great price. And yeah, it's a gorgeous fragrance. Out of all 10 of these, I would say my two favorites would be Prodigy by Mind Games as the classy kind of everyday fragrance that makes you smell like a rich bougie boss babe. This would be the fragrance, and this fragrance as an evening opulent fragrance, Silver Saffron, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, like these are stunning fragrances. So love these. Love them all though, really, I love them all. And again, thank you to Teddy Blake for the absolute gorgeous bag. This was gifted. This video isn't sponsored, but this was gifted. So I always tell them that I'm gonna give my honest thoughts about it, but I love Teddy Blake bags. So it's a no-brainer for me. And we're going to roll to the outfit so you can see kind of how it fits on a plus size girl like me. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week. Please weigh in on all these fragrances. If you've tried them, weigh in, let me know what you think. And other than that, have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon. So this is the size of this bag. I'm a size 18 to 20. So this is the 9-inch AVA on a plus size person. So it totally works. I think it's super cute. I love it. What I love is that it's still, the handle's big enough that I can put my wrist through if I needed to. I can also hold it honestly, almost like a clutch, especially if I don't put much in it. So I love the size. I think it's super practical for just, you know, out and about. Love the size. With the strap on, I can always wear it just on the shoulder like this, and that's what it looks like. As a crossbody, it's not going to work really well with this type of collar because I can't fit it underneath the collar. But on a normal coat, it wouldn't be so much of an issue, but it fits really high up on me. It's too small technically, so I'd need a longer strap than this. The wider strap is even shorter than this one, and this is extended to the fullest size. So that's how the crossbody would sit on me. It works in a pinch, but it's not what I would want it to look like. So definitely won't be wearing it as a crossbody. For anyone that's slimmer than me, this would work great as a crossbody. But I love this purse. I just think it's so classy.